Do well under pressure.
I am recording.
Well then. So we were talking about how you're not a bird.
No. But, okay, so for instance, I was contemplating the fact that I've turned 40.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there thinking, going, I have lived
For
40 years on this planet. And I've accomplished pretty much nothing. However, I still strive to do so.
I am nothing.
And I...
Oh my god. That one meme. Why? I realize oh my god.
No. What normal people strive to achieve is things like a way to be immortalized through singing, through writing, through art, through television, through acting, all trying to immortalize themselves through other people and other people's perception.
Yes.
So if I'm perceiving me in this moment, and I can remember actually perceiving me in the moment when I was 7, in the moment when I was 3, how am I still this one person when there are thousands of other people who are all living with a different perspective on life,
So
who
you're
are all
saying-
trying to survive in their own form or fashion?
So you're saying we should be able to change from person to person?
Well, I'm saying, why am I this person? Why do I feel so different? So, like, I was saying to my husband how I feel in my mind like I'm 20 years old. Yet my body still persists to remind me I'm not 20 anymore. I'm more like 40. And it hurts, and it is degrading in some ways. However, I'm sitting there and thinking about the animals we've had. The pets that we have that have loved us, that have cherished us, that have moved on to a better place because their time
Yes.
was done.
Or lack thereof.
Shush. So, if I'm this one perspective, this one person, how am I not able to perceive or understand necessarily another person or why they perceive me so differently from the way I perceive myself? So if I'm struggling to be accepted, but at the same time I'm struggling with what I want, what I need, what my true self is, why should it matter what someone else thinks or does? Why, to me, is the only purpose of my existence to be pleasingly seen or appreciated by others? Why can't I be okay in the way that I am, in the way that I perceive my world, in the way that I remember my world? Why is that so wrong? And why can't I look at a bird and think, okay, if the bird can sit there and learn to fly and spend its entire life flying through the skies but still chooses to nest, how is that any different from what I'm choosing to do? I'm forced to be something else when I want to be a bird, essentially. And that's just a metaphor in the sense that I want to be free. I want to be free to be myself and do what I choose to do. Nesting is something a bird does to help procreate and create the next generation and so on and so forth. But everyone's different. Not everyone wants to do that.
Congratulations, you're finding old people logic. All you
Oh,
need now
thanks.
is to retire.
Thank you very much. My tiny violin sings for you. But my question is, so when we die and we move on to a greater place or a greater being, or we stop being what we are,
Was
whatever
it worth it?
whatever it is we are, do we perceive what is happening after we die? If there is an afterlife, do we perceive what our family does? Or do we have to stay in purgatory to watch it and then get stuck here and perceive everyone else living their lives? Why am I just who I am, and you just who you are, and you just who you are? And why are you guys not okay with it? Why does anyone else's opinion matter?
Whoa.
I think I was just in deep thought. I'm sitting here like, I've realized this shit before.
I'm talking in a generalization. So, okay, I'm 40 years old. I happen to like Pokemon. I also happen to like dragons and stuffed animals. I'm also a girl.
That's weird.
But I also find the feminine body sexy. That doesn't make me gay, bi, or anything else. It just means that I appreciate what nature has to offer. And that includes men as well. It includes animals, not in a sexual standpoint, but I appreciate the beauty of nature. And that's actually why I choose to live. I choose to live not so much to procreate or to survive. I choose to live because I know that when I leave this body feels sensation, taste, touch, sight, smell, hearing.
You only get it for so long.
Exactly. And I've lived for 40 years. And I've only maybe perceived a tenth of the time what it is I truly appreciate about living.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm so focused on trying to be this perfect picture of what society says I should be instead of what I could be.
Okay, so hold on a second. Before you say that you're trying to be that perfect picture, look, you have blue hair. You have a shit ton of Pokemon cards. What picture are you trying to hold exactly? None of that is normal.
When I'm at work, that's not what people see. Well, granted, they still see the blue hair. However, I'm also third generation autistic. So the blue hair actually has a purpose.
Yeah.
It explains the autism that runs in my family. I use it as autism awareness. That, and I think I look better in blue hair. But to tell you quite honestly, I changed my hair several times trying to find what fit me. And blue hair is what fit me. And why is that wrong?
It isn't.
Why is that such a problem?
It isn't.
It is for many people and many places.
And that doesn't matter.
Exactly my point. However, we are still hardwired by our families, by our environment, by how we grew up to fit a certain mold. It's one of the reasons why when I parented you guys, I appreciate and accept your differences. I help you when you struggle. But I don't criticize you or tell you that it's just a phase, because that's not going to help you figure out who you are. I know. That's not going to help you.
Yes.
Because you're still going to figure out what fits you best. I went through several hair colors before I found blue and decided that is who I am. And God, I wish I could grow blue hair.
It just took me 2 tries.
Well, you ended up with pink by accident, so that wasn't exactly intentional.
Ew.
But I appreciate watching the wind blow.
Don't we all?
I love trying to catch snowflakes, especially when they're big and fat and falling down like snowballs. Trying to catch them in my mouth.
That's hail.
No. There was fat, fluffy flakes that one time we had a little bit of snow that left no trace of it.
Yeah.
I love the feeling of the sun. I love the smell of fresh cut grass.
Yeah, I don't like it. It makes me
Congratulations,
sneeze.
Mom. You realize the world exists and you kind of enjoy it.
But that's actually why I survive. When I get really, really depressed and I think it's not worth living, what's the point? Why am I here? I'm feeling so hurt because of somebody else. Not because of me, but because of the way somebody else made me feel. Because they made me feel inferior, or they made me feel inadequate, or they judged me in a way that made me feel threatened, even though it was constructive criticism. It was not meant to be hurtful, it was meant to be helpful. But we tend to internalize these critiques as if they are a representation of our failures. Like we're being graded every day of our life. I graduated out of high school, I can't remember how long ago. And I don't want to repeat it, thank you. I am perfectly happy with not going back to school. But I feel like I have not lived up to my full potential. And because of that, because I look at myself and I go, if my husband died tomorrow, I have no way of supporting my family. And that terrifies me. Because I have no further education other than a high school diploma.
Yeah.
And granted, I've worked at my work for 3 years, but I haven't gone any farther in it. I haven't made management or anything like that. I haven't even made full time. I've not exactly asked for it because I've wanted to be at home with my kids at least a good portion of the time to help them, support them, and continue to encourage them to grow.
Yeah.
But you guys are getting older and you're getting ready to move out of the house eventually. You're only a couple of years away from being an adult. You, a year. Her, I'm not so sure. Abigail's got a couple of years. William's got several years and will probably stick around because it'll be hard to get him out of the house. He's a bit stuck in his ways. But that's not the point. I'm glad I'll at least have somebody sticking around for at least a little while because they're my children, and my children are a part of who I am. You guys are extensions of me to some extent, and not just because you'll carry on the heritage, but because I've instilled, I hope, the wisdom and desire for knowledge and thinking outside the box that I had. And I instilled that into you guys, I hope. And that you will carry that forward and give it to others. Whether it be your children or just people you meet. Like your math teacher.
Yeah.
You tend to throw your math teachers to the wolves.
It's fun.
I know, you enjoy it just a little too much.
I just hate math.
You want to hear some really deep shit?
No.
No, but it's good. It's good.
In a minute.
Alright, fine.
Hold on to that thought.
Alright.
So overall, I finally decided that I don't get me wrong. I don't want to lose my husband. I am not ready for that. I'm not ready to be alone in that aspect. He is my better half. He is the other part of me. He is the yin to my yang, and I know that's cliche, but he balances me out. He's my soulmate in that aspect. And I'm not ready to lose that. But when that time does come, you guys will most likely be gone. Going out into the world, living your own lives, making your own decisions, having your own families, hopefully.
Oh, good decisions.
And I will most likely choose to live by myself. Because I have yet to do that. I mean, I've lived by myself when I was a kid because my family tended to avoid me when they could because they had their own lives to deal with. They were teenagers. What do you expect? But I haven't truly lived my life alone as an adult. And I kind of need to do that. That's something I feel like I failed at, and I want to experience things that I have either chosen or felt I didn't deserve to do because of either my education, my standings, or whatever else was going on in my life. I need to stand on my own 2 feet when that time does come. And I know I'll be able to do it because it's only going to be me. I won't have to worry about supporting anybody or, you guys will still be around. If anything, you'll probably be coming and bailing me out. Hopefully not out of jail. Maybe out of the sane asylum after this.
She's not crazy, I swear. Take my money.
But I tend to think a little too deeply sometimes and love just a little too hard, and that makes me a little naive. But mess with me, and I will mess you up. And you can end it there.
Well, no, it's not done yet.